Hello, everyone. My name is Stanley St. Rose, and today we're going to be talking about what God created on the fourth day of creation. And on the fourth day of creation, it's very interesting. We're working in space, we're working with stars, we're working with the sun and the moon. And God wanted there to be light on earth, and so He created great light, which is the sun, to govern the day, and a lesser light, which is the moon, to govern the night. And God, this is very interesting within the fourth day of creation. God talks about He wants these lights to be in the sky, to mark seasons, days, years. So this says a lot about timing. God created time. He knew what time was before time even existed. So, God is a being, an eternal being, and an omniscient being, a being that, holds all power, that creates all things. And even time, before he created us, before he created the earth, even time, he knew what he was going to use time for. And he wanted time to be used in a way of measuring things. And these lights, these stars, the moon, the sun, the stars in the sky, and all the lights in the universe, God put them there for His purposes. And for one of the purposes that He tells us is, number one, He put them for light on the earth. That's number one. Number two, He put them there for signs, to mark years, to mark seasons, to mark times. He also put them there um, for all types of notices. So the sky is a way we can think about the three wise men in the Bible, and how they follow the star. So that's very interesting. And the Bible also talks about blood moons and different things that will happen in the sky, and certain prophecies that tell us about things that will happen in the sky. So the Bible is very clear on this, that God uses the sky for His purposes. He uses the sky for different times and different things that the Bible talks about, where there will be signs in the sky of things to come, especially blood moons. The Bible talks about blood moons and what they mean. So the way that God creates the sun, the stars, it's very interesting. One thing that really pops out at me is when the Bible tells us, God created the stars also. That's ultimate greatness. God, it just says, I also created the stars. This shows the omnipotence of God, how great He is, how powerful He is. That you know he wanted, his will dictated that, he wanted to create stars. He wanted to use them for signs. He wanted to use them for light. He wanted a great light to govern the day, the lesser night to govern the night. That was all in his will, and that's exactly what he did. So the fourth day of creation was focused on the on the in the sky. That's um, the Bible tells us about that, God, when He focuses on something, He's very specific and meticulous. I mean, He calls the sky this expanse. And this expanse is a place where, where all these things that God put in the sky or in the universe, or all the lights that you can see when you look at the night sky or through a telescope, all these lights, God purposely, He wanted them to be there. He put them there for His purposes. And pretty much after God creates the great light, the sun, the lesser light, which is the moon, after He creates them, He sets them in the sky. That's pretty much the whole fourth day. So the fourth day is specifically God focuses on separating light from darkness, separating the boundaries between light and darkness, separating the things of the sky to mark them for specific purposes. And it all comes to light. It all comes so that we can understand it better later, when the Bible starts talking about blood moons and things like that. So that's pretty much what happens in the fourth day. That's all that happens in the fourth day. He creates the stars, He creates the lights, He creates the moon, He creates the lights to govern, to create light on earth. Which is very, very important, because I mean, from the sun, from the heat from the sun, I mean, think about all the things that we get from space and from the stars. We need the sun for pretty much, without the sun, the earth would be a very different place. So, this is just another example of God's greatness, of God's power, of God's omnipotence on display, of how He spoke the universe into existence, and how He moves. And so that's a summary of the fourth day. That's what God created on the fourth day.